System of a Down on Uranium.
Wake up! Wake up! Grab brush and put a little makeup. I just masturbated with. I just masturbated with this. Why do you leave the keys upon the table? I want it on the table.
Superman told me that we needed to make a double type of record.
We do kind of need you to answer the questions in order to put the interview together.
You hate us, don't you?
The room gets heated.
If you think it's a waste of time, then I'll leave.
I don't, but you don't want to be here. You
No,
just
it
said
doesn't
that,
matter
so
to
why
me
are
either
you
way.
here?
If I'm here, I'm going to answer the questions the way I'm going to answer the question. If it's a waste of time for you, then leave.
God, this interview is getting seriously tense.
We like the show. I love Fuse.
What's going on, guys? We're here in New York City sitting down with System of a Down, and it's been about, I think, 3 years since I've seen you guys last, or since we've spoken last. How you guys been doing?
Good.
It's also been about 3 years since your last record came out. Is that part of the reason why this is a double album, or did you just come out with so much material that it had to be split up?
Fellatio.
That's good stuff. What did you guys do during your downtime? Were you just writing all the time, or are there any other projects you're
I
on?
walk my dog.
Fellatio.
We do kind of need you to answer the questions in order to put the interview together. Or, I mean, we could just play the one from 3 years ago where you kind of did the same thing. It's up to you.
Fellatio?
Backtrack. Reverse.
Moonwalk.
I think it's more balancing the two.
Let's moonwalk our ass back.
You know when trucks go back?
Seriously, man, come on. Answer my questions, damn it. He's like, no. You make you suffer.
I am answering the question. I'm just getting the vibe of your question, and I'm answering it in the way that I feel appropriate.
How many songs did you end up recording for both records, and what is the process of you guys deciding what songs go on the record or not?
Superman told me that we needed to make a double type of record. And so I answered, and I said, okay, Superman, we will make a double type of record, but it won't be a double album because Batman didn't want a double album.
Robin did, though.
Awesome.
Questions getting any easier for you over there?
Yeah, this is great.
Everybody's going to the party, have a real good time.
Also wanted to ask you about the title of the record. Is it a spiritual meaning, or, what are you trying to say with it?
It's more important to us of what it means to you than it does what it means to us, I guess.
Well, I think people who are your fans definitely want to know how you feel about it because they look to you for a lot of answers. That's why they listen to your music, and a lot of your music is very abstract.
If anybody's looking for us or at us for answers, then they're in more trouble than when they started.
I don't know if it's answers, more of like
It's the
maybe
same with us.
guidance.
We're looking for...
Yeah, the point for us is to keep it open to interpretation because we want everybody to look at it and come up with their own thing. It's kind of to evoke
Most of the songs are personally about how screwed up I am lyrically in some ways. It had nothing to do with answers.
Okay. Well, I mean, all art is really open for interpretation, and that's the beauty of it, that you derive from it what it means to you.
But that's what we're trying to say. If we explain it, if we explain everything, if we explain like what the words mean, if we explain what the songs mean, if we explain what the name of the album is, then people don't have to think for themselves to come up with their own explanations for these things. And that's kind of the point of it.
You wrote a lot more lyrics on this record, Daron, and you also sing a lot more. Was it difficult for you guys to harmonize together because your vocals are so different?
No. It was kind of natural for us to do what we do. When me and Serge met, I was a singer and he was a keyboard player. We kind of switched roles, and as this band's mutated, we're kind of moving towards both of us being kind of a lead singer type of duo, you can say, like Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton.
It's an interesting comparison. I'm sure you've been asked this plenty of times before, but the whole play on the words of...
You hate us, don't you?
I don't really hate anybody. You just really give me a hard time when I'm trying to.
Everybody a hard time though. It's not just you.
Well, I'm
don't
trying
take it so personally.
I don't. It's just really annoying.
We give each other a hard time.
I'm trying to.
But we're annoying.
I don't know you on a personal level. Perhaps you are.
We're extremely annoying people. Trust me.
It's different when you're on TV and I'm trying to put together an interview that, you know, doesn't come off to kids like you guys are arrogant or whatever, which is
but
what
we are.
it kind of comes off.
We are. We're very arrogant. Tell the kids we're very arrogant. I just told them we are very arrogant, and you should be too.
We're not concerned about how we're perceived. Perception is the mother of deception.
Coming up on Uranium.
I was a prostitute on the street.
You obviously didn't do too well for yourself. That's why you had to become a musician.
Yeah, it didn't work out too well.
Small venues that we played, we're just going back to that because in a lot of ways musically we feel like we've taken it to a new level.
Dude, this interview's done, so whatever.
No, we're still interviewing.
That's all coming up next.
I think that went very well.
You know, in the age of very difficulty of selling records and fickle fan bases, you guys have an extremely intense fan base that are very loyal to you guys. Why do you think that is, and what do you think, you know, holds them to you guys?
That's a good question, and honestly, we really don't have the answer to that because we have no idea.
Well, we've never really catered to album sales, really. You know what I mean? And I think the fans know that. We've kept our integrity, hopefully, I think. My opinion is we have. And I think kids see that. We keep our stuff interesting, so we have fans that are loyal, and that's really cool, and we're blessed. Thank you.
Shavo, I wanted to ask you a little bit about, I read that you pretty much had a, you know, renewal of your love for your instrument this time around. You know, what inspired you, and I think
These guys did.
Why did they kind
And then
of...
a lot of listening to a lot of different music that I didn't listen to.
Were you a little
before.
rusty after not touring for 2 years?
No, it wasn't that. It was just that I was a guitar player more in my brain than I was a bass player. But I was a bass player. That's what my job, and I looked at it as that. And then I stopped looking at it as that. And I started listening to the bass more when I listened to music instead of hearing the guitar more. And I love my instrument now, so
That's awesome.
it's cool.
I was a prostitute on the street.
You obviously didn't do too well
of
for yourself.
Hollywood.
That's why you had to become a musician.
Yeah, it didn't work out too well. As a kid, I was traded in the black market a couple of times, and I ended up on the streets of Hollywood, and then I ended up in System of a Down, and Shavo was the guitar player, but then I took the guitar from him.
He did, actually.
And
He said, be a bass player, man.
yeah, because I'm tired.
You guys are doing a guerrilla style club tour, doing smaller places instead of larger venues, which you could easily do.
Why they call it Gorilla?
We're inviting gorillas.
Oh.
A lot of the venues that we're playing are venues we played when we first started touring. So it is pretty cool to go back to that. And the way we're doing it, you can only get tickets at the venues. You can't buy them at like Ticketmaster or get them on the internet.
Well, that's what guerrilla style means.
I mean, I don't know what the definition of it is.
It means kind of like when you go from
Answer something.
like one place to another place without necessarily organized or properly production scheduled stuff. Like guerrilla shooting is like you kind of show up, you shoot, you get what you get.
Like I said, it's small venues that we played, you know, originally when we first started touring. And we're just going back to that because the vibe is totally different when you're playing a small venue as opposed to an arena,
Absolutely.
obviously. For us, it's also for us, you know, to go back to that and start over. Because in a lot of ways, musically, we feel like we've taken it to a new level. But we want to step back and relive what we did in the past in a lot of ways, too.